But when you say they worked for you, what does that really look like?
That looks like if I say go set somebody up so I can kill them, they'll do that. If I say we're going to rob a drug dealer today, they do that. If I tell them we're going to bat somebody today, they'll do that. Whatever I ask. So it's not, this is, it's a dictatorship. They understood that. And, as long as they're working for me, they're making money. And that's the sell point is they're going to make money. I mean, I got a lot of guys that since they're kids that, listen, and these guys been around forever. His cousin, and he knows enough stories from his family about me. Most of these guys are faking their way through this life. And just what Hootie said. There's guys, I didn't give a shit what their position was, captain, boss. If I didn't like them, I was going to hurt them or I was going to rob them. And the guys and I'm talking about the legitimate guys on the street that were just street guys. Usually you get about, like I had tons of guys. So I don't know, I had a couple hundred guys because I got guys who have guys who have guys. So in the end up, you got probably 200-300 guys that are working for you. And out of those 200-300, I would say 290 of them never did shit. You got 10 good guys that are shooters and they're tough. The rest is just, sheep that follow along. So, what he's saying is pretty accurate about how it works in the street. And Gene was a wild guy, and everybody's always asking me, well, what's such attachment to Gene? Well, because he was wild. And because in that life, whether you agree with that life or disagree, just what I said earlier, I spoke highly the other day on one of the podcasts about a guy who was trying to kill me, another guy, Anthony Tabita. And when guys ask me, why are you speaking highly about this guy? I said, first off, he's out of the life, so am I. But second, I got to give props to the kid because he was wild. I'm not saying he's going to square off and fist fight with somebody. I don't know him that way. But I know that he'll put in some work. So, do I respect those guys even though they're my enemy? Sure. They try to kill me a lot of times. Yeah. So, yeah, I got respect for them. I gave them the respect they deserve in that life.
Absolutely, because, it's like when I told my story with the kid Chris Cagnata, he was the craziest kid around town. Me and him had beef. I give his credit. He tried to kill me multiple times. Like I had the same with him. So you have to give credit where credit's due. You can't just say, oh, he's a bitch because you don't like him. You have to say if he was really a bad guy, he was a bad guy. You know what I mean? So that you gotta keep it real. You know what I mean?
In your generation, were there more dirty cops in John's generation?
Or we really didn't have no dirty cops. Really? That was kind of like over with. Yeah. Wow. You get one maybe here and there. We really didn't have that. We had a retired cop that was kind of dirty. What was about it.
What did he do?
I mean, basically, he was dealing with other people, but we had one guy. He was a retired cop. He was around Vin, and he was basically giving like information and stuff like that. But Vin didn't even trust him. So that's why I didn't know it make no sense.
I think we all have a lot of Gotti Jr. had Willie Marshall around him, who was a hack in a jail. He's a big guy, roided up, and I think we all grabbed somebody somewhere along the line in law enforcement that had that edge that you're trying to get. I mean, My guy, Phil Baroni's actually the one that gave me the information that I gave to Gotti Sr. You're going to get pinched when him and Sammy got locked up. That information came through me. So, through my guy, and his partner was a driver at that time for Morgenthau, who was the district attorney of in Manhattan. So, I had some high-ranking guys that were giving me good information and working with me.